For decades, our government assumed there must be different exotic technologies responsible for each of the observables. But our scientists realized one breakthrough technology could actually be responsible for everything.
With enough energy, you could create a bubble, a warp bubble, around a spacecraft that would have a different property of space-time inside the bubble than on the outside of the bubble.
This energy field would completely isolate the craft from the environment. So you might ask then, how does the craft actually move forward within its bubble?
The craft inside the bubble has a way of altering the bubble's properties in order to change its direction of motion.
Such that you have a downward press in front and an upward press behind. So it'd be like riding space-time in the same way that a surfer would ride a wave in the ocean. And we observe hypersonic velocity and instantaneous acceleration. And the reason is that time is moving differently for people inside the bubble versus people outside the bubble. Whoever's inside the craft would feel like they're just cruising along. They wouldn't be feeling the effects of what looks like speeds and accelerations that would turn a human being into pudding. This one breakthrough can be the key to interstellar travel, where you want to travel long distances without taking enormous amounts of subjective time. We'd also have low observability because the bubble acts as a barrier between two space-time environments. This would eliminate or conceal most of the known signatures of conventional technologies. This is why radar would have difficulty tracking a craft, because the signal from the radar would be distorted by the energy field around the craft.
The radar signatures literally just moved around the bubble and doesn't reflect back to the radar emitter.
So it's not surprising when someone takes a photo of a UAP, they find they get a fuzzy and distorted picture because they're actually taking a photo through a space-time barrier. What's been happening recently is that we have upgraded our sensor systems on our fighter aircraft. And these images that are now picked up with our advanced sensor systems, we can begin to see the actual structure of the energy field around a craft, which in the past they would not have been able to do. We also observe transmedium travel because the craft is moving within its own space-time, and the outside environment through which it's moving is inconsequential. This would allow a craft to go seamlessly from space through the atmosphere and into the water.
And they could do so because the warp bubble that surrounds them shunts air molecules or ocean water molecules around the craft so that it can move effortlessly through any medium.
We also observe anti-gravity because the Earth's gravitational field is no longer having any effect on the craft inside its space-time bubble. This is why a craft does not need, say, engines or wings or other aspects that we would associate it with a craft that needs to fly in the atmosphere. It's really disconnected from the atmosphere. And the energy field associated with these craft causes a highly energetic wave of radiation, which is why people getting too close to a UAP can experience biological effects that are harmful to humans. Now that we understand that these craft exist in a space-time environment that's different from the exterior space-time environment, this can begin to explain claimed observations by, say, military people who have approached and gotten into a craft and find that time is running at a different rate inside the craft than time running outside the craft. They think they're only there for a few minutes. When they come outside the craft, some hours have gone by. So they feel like they've got missing time. Or similarly, with respect to the size of the craft, if someone is outside the craft and looks like a small craft and they go inside, it's the size of a football stadium. Once you've realized that space and time are being engineered to be different inside the craft than they are outside the craft, then these anomalies that people report that sound completely absurd can actually make sense.